Welcome everyone to this demonstration of the RMO ATM 2.0 add-on for MetaStock. My name is Rahul Mohindar. A lot of you folks know me as the RMO inside of MetaStock, but let me give you a better introduction. I've really been an active trader for over 15 years now. In addition, I'm a director at Veritex Software based in India and also a panelist for CNBC now for over a decade. I think what really excites me is the fact that technical analysis is such a fantastic and simple tool to achieve financial freedom and trading success. Technical analysis is what drives me, and I believe that if we organize ourselves in trading and get disciplined in our approaches, we can go places. So to help you in your endeavor to making money in the markets, let me present to you my new updated RMO ATM 2.0 add-on. The ATM has already been around for over 4 years now, but the RMO ATM 2.0 brings in some fascinating major updates which are going to be well appreciated not just by existing users but even by new users. We've taken it to the next level. In addition to giving you just indicators inside of MetaStock, we've built an all-new application called the ATM PowerScreener, which complements the ATM 2.0 in all of its systems. So without further ado, let's get straight into the RMO ATM 2.0. The ATM really stands for Automated Trend Modules, and as the name suggests, it helps you automate the process of analysis. The idea is not to give you a black box, but to help you make your trading a more methodical and rule-based approach. The ATM comes with clear rules, a step-by-step process, and very defined strategies. We've built not just breakout indicators, but also tools that can help you detect where the market's reversing. In other words, giving you counter trend indicators as well. This means you could be trading stocks, futures, forex, or even options, and can use this tool very successfully. One of the best parts about the ATM is its ability to detect sideways zones. It analyzes the market situation for you and lets you understand if the market is dormant, active, or hyperactive. I think we all understand that if we trade excessively in sideways and dormant modes of the market, we tend to get whipsawed, which really ruins the bottom line. And if we could have a tool that conveniently detects for us where the market is looking sideways and range bound, we could definitely avoid a lot of our mistakes. In fact, as I would say, staying away from the market is a lot better than coming in and losing small pieces each time. The RMO ATM also aims at not just giving you static indicators which work off fixed values. We're not just using a single value, we're looking at blending in multiple tools in an automated fashion. We're looking at not just using price data. We've got indicators which exclusively use volatility and volume data as well, which makes the RMO ATM very efficient. This means that the indicators can slow down if needed or speed up. So when you need that responsiveness, that automatically steps in. Where we've really taken it a notch up for you is we've gone beyond the conventional indicators, strategies, and experts, but we're going to give you an all-new application inside of the ATM PowerScreener. And as the name suggests, it's an all-new way to look at new scanning capability, monitoring your trades like you've never done before. So I think it beautifully backs you up. You not only have great systems and indicators, but you also have templates, expert commentary for all of these indicators, scans, PowerScreeners, And when you put them all together, I think you have a fascinating suite. Today's markets are a lot more complex. If you look at the left-hand side, that's the classical rising top and bottom formation that we always want to see, with that perfect 45-degree trend line. But unfortunately, today's markets are a lot more complex. We have more jagged and complicated trends. And sometimes, as much as you want, we can't draw that perfect 45-degree trend line, or even for that matter, cannot even draw a trend line. I think this calls for one thing: tools that are more up-to-date, more efficient, and tools that help you focus on how to trade better rather than integrate too many tools and indicators together. The ATM does that so well. It brings together a full suite of tools, all preset, with giving you a more rule-based approach into trading. When you get the RMO ATM 2.0, you get a suite of 10 indicators. Now you need not get into each of these indicators manually. Just simply apply the style templates that we've provided for you, and you'd automatically be able to see the indicators and screens like you really need to be. We've additionally built expert advisors which give you commentary, scans that auto-detect these opportunities for you as well. Let's start with the Trend Decider suite. We're really looking at 3 different indicators here: the Trend Decider daily, weekly, and monthly. Each Trend Decider indicator gives us a level of support and resistance. When you look at these levels, if the market's trading below the daily, weekly, and monthly levels, we're looking weak. Likewise, if we're trading above the daily level, we may be bullish intraday. Likewise, if we get above the red weekly level, we could be bullish for the week. Notice when the market breaks all the 3 levels, where price goes below the daily, weekly, and monthly, that's when real weakness steps in. Subsequently, we've never even been able to get past the weekly level. So even though we've had some small little intraday penetrations of the green daily level, these are short-lived simply because the market is well below that weekly line. What our focus should be is, how do we short every time we break that daily level? Let's look at going short on the market wherever we break that daily level, because we're not just below the daily, we're also going to be below that weekly and monthly. This is further backed with expert commentary. Let's look at the breakout catcher. The breakout catcher is an indicator which sinks in over 5 different studies to help you detect automatic trend breakouts. Wherever the market breaks out into an uptrend, it marks it as a blue bar. What we need to understand is we should buy only if the market can subsequently go above the high of the blue bar. Likewise, when you see a red bar, that is an indication of weakness. And when the market breaks a low of that red bar, we're looking at shorting the market. Ideally, you want to trade the first red bar or buy when it crosses the high of the first blue bar. In this case, we never crossed the high of the blue bar and hence couldn't even buy. So the breakout catcher gives you clear-cut signals as to when a trend is breaking out up or down. But when you complement it with the ATM zone detector, it really adds a lot more weight to it. The zone detector is a tool that automatically finds out for you if the market is sideways or dormant. What we need to be careful is we should not trade if the market is dormant. So if you get a buy or a sell on the breakout catcher, or for that matter any indicator, and we see the zone detector is dormant, we should avoid trading. And that's simply because of the fact we would tend to make more losses and bad trades if we start trading in lifeless zones, in zones of sideways price action. Here's a simple example. You have a blue breakout right there. However, this is not suggesting a active or hyperactive mode. In fact, the zone detector is at a value of 0. This means that you're getting a buy signal which is really not backed with a range breakout, price action, volatility, volumes, and basically you might just get stuck into a range bound setup. Instead of going long here, you should really focus on the short signal that comes subsequently. You have a lovely sell which is coming in hyperactive mode. And when you have a sell in a hyperactive mode, that's what you get, a nice meaty downtrend. So in other words, if you get a buy setup and the zone is dormant, whilst it may be successful and you may be happy for 1 or 2 bars, but that's about it. They're kind of short-lived, range-bound, and not really the big trend that we're really eyeing for. So focus on where you have signals accompanied with a hyperactive zone. What this helps you do is take the good trades. So you have sells with a hyperactive zone, you take the trade, but you don't take the sells over here because you have them in a dormant mode. So if the zone is dormant, you avoid the sell signals. And the whole idea is that way, whether it's a buy signal and in hyperactive mode, you get an idea as to how meaningful and confirmed that signal is and how likely it is to be a successful trade. So avoid taking buy or sell trades in a dormant mode and focus on where the signals are really hyperactive. Now, for those of you who've been using the inbuilt RMO system inside of MetaStock, we've really built an all-new ATM RMO template. I really think this is a super filter for the RMO. Now let's show you how. The bar colors now work as a filter to the RMO oscillator itself. Whilst the bar colors originally inside of MetaStock may show you simple red and blue bars, we've added an all new dimension. We've got 4 colors on the bars: an orange, a red, a light blue, and a dark blue. What this suggests is light blue is bullish. However, a complete bull strength is identified when you're in a dark blue color. Likewise, orange and red are different tones of the weakness that you see in the trend. So at times when the RMO goes back and forth, let's look at this area here where the RMO went above 0. Despite the RMO going above 0, the bar colors now will protect you. When you look at the bar colors in this whole area, you will notice that the bars are still orange or red in color. And that signals the fact that whilst the RMO has gone above 0, the entire trend is not confirmed. This is why I call it the super filter. It has the ability to further clean up the signals that you get on the RMO system and make it so much more efficient for you. And I think what's really interesting is the fact that you get blue bars sometimes before the RMO's even gone above 0. So if you've started seeing that the RMO oscillator has started rising and you've seen a deep blue bar, that's a first-hand indication of an early trend change. Likewise, sometimes when the market gets sideways and the RMO goes from negative to positive in quick succession, when you look at the light blue bars, you really have a clean sense that, well, the market is still strong and bullish, and you're not really going to get stuck into these whipsaws where the RMO goes from positive to negative in quick succession. It's clear that the ATM RMO template takes MetaStock's inbuilt RMO system to an all-new level of success. It definitely works as a superb filter where it cleans out a lot of the choppy patches for the RMO, but also can come in as a first-hand indication of trend change. The counter trend indicator is another very interesting tool in the ATM add-on. The indicator helps you identify where the market is changing trend. Whilst you may look at the indicator as a value of +2 and -2, +2 indicating bull strength, -2 indicating a sell signal, the best way is to look at the inbuilt expert advisor. This automatically stamps for you buy and sell signals on the chart. Ideally, you want to be buying after a downtrend. Likewise, after an uptrend, you're looking for the first sell. Whilst the success rate is fairly good, you will have the odd whipsaw. For example, you had a buy signal above the high of that bar. That didn't work. But in essence, you could see you got the lows here, the highs here, and then again the lows here. So the counter trend indicator brings in an amazing risk to reward ratio as well. Beyond just giving you a high hit rate, it works on the logic of giving you a risk to reward ratio upwards of 1 for 2. The ATM RMO 2 is again a fascinating tool to detect trends, and also for those of you folks who trade the options segment, the RMO 2 systems can come in very handy. Simply right click on the MetaStock charts and apply the RMO 2 template. What you see is an indicator that plots a value of either -1 or +1. To simplify, if the RMO 2 is blue and at a value of +1, that indicates strength. Likewise, if the indicator is at a value of -1 or red, that indicates weakness. If you're at a value of 0, that is a neutral phase. For those of you who trade options, what you want to do is buy put options every time the market pulls back to 0. So when you come up from a -1, so when the red pulls back into 0, these are opportunities to buy put options. And notice what you're doing. Every time the market's going up, you're buying puts. The market runs up, you buy puts. The market again runs up here, and you buy puts. What's your stop? Your stop is either the premium that you're paying, which is the maximum risk that you deploy, or if the RMO 2 goes up to +1, all you do is put in a stop at the high of the bar, which doesn't get taken out in this case. But very simply, I think what we understand is if you buy put options every time the market goes up, you're definitely getting into cheap put options. Likewise, this can even help you buy calls when the market's dropping. Here's a perfect example. The market comes down to 0, the RMO 2 comes down to 0, the market's dropping, and here's your opportunity to buy calls. For those of you looking at puts, every time -1 sucks back to 0, you have an opportunity to buy put options. So you got a little rally up, use it to buy puts. You get the little rally up, buy the puts. So it's a beautiful market timing tool, and at the same time helps you understand whether you should be buying the call options or the put options with complete convenience and ease. This is further backed by expert commentary. So all of this integrates not just the RMO 2 but other different factors like the zone detector, the breakout catcher, so that you can all see it in one piece. Finally, let's talk about one of the other new additions into the ATM 2.0 suite. The new strength weakness index is again an amazing new indicator that factors in volume as its essential ingredient. We have a lot of indicators that factor in price, but the SWI, or the strength weakness index, really looks at volume as its core. So that whole concept of price going up with volume or price going down with volume confirms a trend is really what's married into this SWI indicator. So to simplify, what the strength weakness index does for you is marks a simple line on that price chart, and you understand that if the price is above that line, it's bullish. If not, it's bearish. So you have the red line that you see, which dissects the chart virtually in two parts, the bullish part and the bearish part. If the price is above that line and the bars are blue in color, that indicates strength. If the price breaks the SWI line and shades red automatically, that is a bearish indication. It's very interesting to get a take on volume separately rather than just price. And the SWI just does that for you so well. Which means if the market's going up and doesn't have enough volume to back it, it won't really break out of that SWI line. So the Strength Weakness Index is an all-new take on the price trend, really driven from volume. Again, all of this has expert commentary which integrates together. So in one glance, you could understand if the market is in a bearish pulse or is in a corrective up move by just clicking on the expert commentary. Finally, let's talk about the ATM PowerScreener app. The PowerScreener is an amazing all-new tool that we released with the ATM 2.0, which really works as your go-to screen. It's the screen that works as not just your quote board, where you can see live prices updating, but also get voice and email alerts on criteria that you want to track. So let's say if you want signals based on the breakout catcher, or the inbuilt RMO system, or the trend decider, you could just fit in all those indicators and it would automatically scan for you in a real-time environment wherever you have a new trading opportunity. What's really interesting is the fact that it voices out alerts for you, which means you could actually hear a voice, breakout catcher buy on IBM, or trend decider sell on Facebook. So you really don't have to even focus on looking at the screen, which is interesting because it gives to you a hands-free approach and at the same time doesn't depend on you on staying glued to that screen and chair. You could get an email alert if you're not at your desk. You could get a voice alert if you were not looking at the chart or looking at your screen. Well, at least you could hear it. And that way you never really miss a trade. So every single indicator which is included in the ATM is part of the PowerScreener. But we've also built a lot of popular studies. So the MACDs, RSI, stochastics are other tools which are also included inside the PowerScreener. Net, we're giving you 29 different indicator fields that you can enter. So beyond just the ATM tools, we've added a lot of the conventional toolkits which a lot of you folks use, so that could also be integrated into that one single screen. You could enter comments on trades that you've taken, enter your positions to see your real-time profit and loss. And for those of you who don't really look at the markets from a real-time perspective, no worries. We've built in 11 different explorations for you so that you can scan really big lists of stocks at the end of the day. But I think what you'd really enjoy about the PowerScreener is the fact that it auto detects it for you. It's hands-free. You don't have to even run a scan. And it can even scan on time frames like 3 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 25 minute, 75 minute, which may not necessarily be possible through the explorations. So there's tremendous flexibility. You can have indicators of your choice run on different time frames that you want it to run on, stock lists or symbol lists that you want to scan through, and not just the entire market. I think what's really important today is to not just have an efficient system, but also to have a system that automatically scans and gives you new trading opportunities live as they happen. The problem today is when there's a new breakout, we often have an excuse. Oh, I wasn't there. I wasn't looking at it. But now with the ATM PowerScreener, well, you've got the email alert, you've got the voice alert, and that really leaves no stone unturned. So the ATM PowerScreener brings to you a go-to screen, a live quote board, a live scanner, voice and email alerts, all so that you can manage and monitor your trades like never before. Folks, with the RMO ATM 2.0 add-on, you're not just adding some fascinating indicators, but you're also helping yourself get more disciplined, rule-based, and at the same time get yourself the power of an all-new scanner that never makes you miss an opportunity. That said, thank you for watching this presentation and good luck with your trading.